Welcome to Vitality Daily Dose. You do unage because of the wrinkles on your forehead or the few gray hairs on your head. What really makes you age every day is deep inside your body. No one notices. No one feels clearly. It is the blood vessels. Blood vessels are the pipes of life. They conduct blood, carry nutrients, transport energy throughout the body. And when those pipes begin to harden, clog, rot, life also gradually becomes disordered, without noise, without warning, without any alarm bells. We always try to keep a fresh appearance for others to see. But the blood vessels do not let anyone see. They just silently bear all the things you cause. One day, when it can't take it anymore, you will see everything collapse so quickly that you don't have time to turn around. So if you're listening to these words, don't think of this as a normal health video. Consider it a reminder of time. You may not remember everything I said, but if you read it to the end and read it as if you were looking back at your own destiny, you will probably find something more important than advice. Take it easy, care for yourself, and move forward with a strong heart and will to live a long, happy life. Otherwise, life will continue. It is just that you will not go as far as you think. Blood vessels have no voice. They do not know how to complain like a hungry stomach or a dry skin. That is why they silently age in our indifference until everything becomes too late. You may think that you are healthy, still eat regularly, still go to work normally, still do not see anything wrong. But the truth is that many people who look healthy still collapse in their sleep, have strokes, heart attacks, cerebral vascular impacts. They come like lightning without warning. Why? Because the blood vessels do not wait for you to look back. They just quietly accumulate damage from excess sugar, excess fat, prolonged stress, shallow sleep, bad eating habits, drinking water the wrong way. Little by little, like small drops of acid in a glass tube, do not break immediately, but will eventually break. And when it breaks, the whole system collapses. It all starts from the most ordinary things. The food you pick up, the glass of water you drink, the breathing you forget to adjust, the sitting posture you think is harmless. Those seemingly trivial things are where the blood vessels are healed or continue to be eroded. And it is from these very small points that we will together open up the 5 most quintessential secrets that are distilled from modern medicine, traditional experience, and a deep understanding of how the body operates. And the first thing that is exchanged is the meal. When you put too much starch and sugar into your body at the same time, the amount of sugar in your blood will spike like a tsunami. It not only makes you feel tired and sleepy after eating, but also silently tears and peels off each layer of cells in the blood vessel wall. Blood vessels are essentially soft streams, but once continuously attacked by toxic sugar, they will gradually become hard, rough, and then crumble like an old bamboo branch that is no longer flexible. If you pay attention, you will see a very popular way of eating: a large bowl of noodles, plus a cup of milk tea or a can of soft drink. Or a quick breakfast with a loaf of white bread and a cup of condensed milk coffee. Or a full lunch with rice and dessert with tea or ice cream. All of these combos have the same consequence. Blood sugar suddenly increases and then suddenly decreases, creating a spiral that destroys blood vessels. The Japanese call it a killer hidden in pleasure. And unfortunately, these are also the foods that make us feel most comfortable at the present time. Eating is the art of health preservation, and sugar, if used incorrectly, will be a double-edged sword. There is no need to abstain completely, but you need to understand and know when to stop. Eat a little slower, choose your food a little more carefully, cut down on the amount of sugar you unconsciously consume each day. These are small actions that bring long-term results. Blood vessels do not scream, but if you know how to listen, they will send signals with lighter breathing, with deeper sleep, with clarity that lasts for years. And the first secret to going far in that health journey is simply to cut off the flow of toxic sugar before it erodes you from the inside. After cutting off the flow of toxic sugar, which makes blood vessels rot every day, the next thing we need to do is not to abstain from extremes, but to learn how to choose the right starch, the right color. Because not all starches are bad. On the contrary, there are types of starches that, if used correctly, will become the ideal companion of blood vessels, helping the body to live healthy, light, and durable like a stream flowing through the years. In the human body, sugar does not only come from candy and cakes, but mostly from starch, a bowl of white rice, a loaf of white bread, or a bowl of noodles. Can also cause blood sugar to spike if not handled properly. If you compare a bowl of white rice with a bowl of brown rice, you will see the difference not only in color, but also in the microecosystem in the body. White rice has been milled to remove the bran layer, which contains fiber and essential nutrients. It is like a book with the top torn off, leaving only the hollow content inside. Meanwhile, brown rice, germinated rice, or oats retain the entire natural structure, are slower to digest, but are also safer and more sustainable for the vascular system. The same goes for bread. White bread looks attractive but lacks both fiber and minerals. Meanwhile, whole wheat bread, although seemingly crude, helps regulate blood sugar more effectively. When rice, potatoes, or starch are cooked and then cooled, they create a special form of starch called resistant starch. This type of starch is not absorbed quickly into the blood, but flows down to the large intestine, nourishes beneficial bacteria, produces short-chain fatty acids, contributes to protecting the intestinal wall, and stabilizing blood sugar. Start with small changes. Replace white rice with brown rice a few days a week. Try whole wheat bread instead of soft white. Let the rice cool a bit before eating. These seemingly insignificant things make a lasting difference over decades. Next is soluble fiber. Soluble fiber is like a soft net that enters the body not to be digested but to collect, stick to, and remove things that should not exist in the blood. Bad cholesterol, excess sugar, toxins from food, all are pulled along with that layer of fiber out of the digestive system before they can sneak into the blood vessels and cause consequences. The miracle is that this type of fiber is not simply part of the diet, but also a balancing principle in nature. It slows down the absorption of sugar, preventing blood sugar from spiking, helps the blood vessels, not having to endure sudden impacts from the inside. It even becomes a valuable food source for beneficial intestinal bacteria. The secret inhabitants partly produce anti-inflammatory substances, protect blood vessels, and keep the body running smoothly. In modern medicine, people call it prebiotic, food for the microflora. Let's review a simple but useful list. Okra, a soft and chewy vegetable with a protective layer on the intestinal mucosa. Fermented soybean natto with a characteristic viscosity present in every breakfast of the long-lived Japanese. Yam, a smooth purple tuber, both good for the spleen and easy to digest, and yam not only mineral oil but also full of soft fibers. Mushrooms, a kingdom of fiber that does not increase blood sugar. And papaya, banana, oatmeal, dishes that seem ordinary but are treasures for the blood vessels if eaten at the right time. If you add a little vegetable, a slice of papaya, a pinch of mushrooms, or a few pieces of yam to each meal, you are helping to clean your blood vessels of some of the accumulated dirt. And when this small action is repeated every day, it will become a solid wall, preventing bad cholesterol from taking hold, preventing excess sugar from causing chaos, preventing blood vessels from being torn apart little by little. The same eating order is the same meal with the same amount of food. But just by changing the eating order, the results for health can be as different as two roads leading to two worlds. When you eat vegetables first, especially those high in fiber, they create a natural network that covers the intestinal wall. That network acts as an osmotic barrier, slowing down the rate of glucose absorption into the blood, causing blood sugar to rise slowly, without shock, without rebound. At the same time, vegetables contain antioxidants like a cool stream of water. Bathing cells that are struggling with daily stress. No need for drugs, no need for functional foods. Just change the order. Eating vegetables first is not a miracle method, but it is a testament to a profound philosophy. Health does not come from big things, but from small enough changes to maintain for a lifetime. After adjusting the order of dishes, choosing the right type of starch, adding fiber and green vegetables to daily meals, there is still a factor that determines blood vessel health. A factor that modern people easily ignore. The speed of eating the same dish, the same amount of calories. But if you eat slowly and chew thoroughly, your body will process it completely differently than when you eat quickly and swallow slowly. The underlying cause is not only in digestion, but also directly related to hormones, especially insulin and the pressure that the blood has to endure every time food is taken in. When you eat quickly, your body does not have time to recognize the amount of food absorbed. The brain does not have time to send a signal that it is full, you have overeaten. Blood sugar increases suddenly, forcing the pancreas to secrete insulin faster and more to bring sugar back to a balanced state. This pressure is like a large wave hitting the blood vessel wall, causing the endothelial cells, which are very fragile, to be damaged little by little. Over the years, these damages accumulate into chronic inflammation, arteriosclerosis, high blood pressure, and the risk of vascular occlusion. On the contrary, when you eat slowly, each chewing movement is a way to start the entire digestive system. Food is crushed smaller, more saliva is secreted, containing enzymes that help pre-digest right from the mouth. This prevents the stomach from being overloaded, blood sugar levels from increasing. Insulin is secreted just enough, and blood vessels are not attacked by hormonal waves, but are nourished in a stable manner. Eating slowly is also a way to reduce the amount of food eaten without feeling hungry. When chewing thoroughly, the feeling of fullness comes sooner. The hunger-controlling hormone has enough time to take effect. Thanks to that, you avoid excess energy intake, reduce visceral fat accumulation, the most dangerous type of fat for blood vessels. Visceral fat does not swell like subcutaneous fat, but it quietly causes inflammation and puts a lot of pressure on the circulatory system. Reducing visceral fat means reducing the risk of vasculitis, reducing the burden on the heart, brain, and kidneys, the vital organs in the body. When you sit too long, when you are lazy to exercise, blood vessels will slow down like a stagnant stream. Blood does not circulate, toxins stagnate, and each segment of the vessel begins to lose its elasticity. Therefore, in addition to eating, let your body change. No need to sweat in the gym, no need to run dozens of kilometers every morning. Sometimes just a simple habit, like a light walk after a meal for 20 minutes, can be a golden medicine for the circulatory system. Not only exercise, but also other ways to take care of blood vessels that we often forget, such as massage. Every night when you are settled, take 5 minutes to gently massage both sides of the neck, shoulders, and especially the soles of the feet. These points are where many small blood vessels and sympathetic nerves are concentrated, reflecting the blockage or circulation of the whole body. A warm hand, a little essential oil, a deep breath is sometimes enough to untangle a stressful day at the same time, blocking the blockages that we cannot see combined with a little silence. Like a short meditation before bed, or simply lying still and focusing on breathing. When breathing slower and deeper, the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, causing the heart to beat slower, blood vessels to dilate, blood pressure to stabilize, and sleep to come easier. A deep sleep is when cells repair damage in the blood vessels that have not been recovered during the day. A warm bath has many benefits for blood vessels. The warm temperature dilates the blood vessels, helping blood circulate more strongly, especially in the limbs, after a stressful day. Soaking your feet in warm ginger water or simply showering with warm water, flowing evenly over your shoulders and neck can also become a healing therapy for both body and mind. All of these things, from walking slowly, simple massage movements, deep breathing, to a full night's sleep, are ways for you to send a signal. Our blood vessels deserve to be cared for, just like our souls. Save this video and watch it once a week as a wake-up call to remind yourself to live better and love your body more. And if you feel something in your heart has just been awakened, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your loved ones and friends, and hit the subscribe button to receive more valuable knowledge. What is shared in this video is for reference only. This is not a diagnosis and does not replace advice or treatment from a doctor. If you have specific health issues, you should seek professional advice for the most appropriate guidance. Goodbye.